Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Lionel. I'm your host for L2 Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. Today, we are covering the scene, ATL. We're back, baby. I do appreciate everyone for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe and leave your comments below. Now, let's get into this week's episode. Okay, y'all. We got a lot going on in this episode. First, I want to say to the scene ATL, I'm glad you guys are back. After, about a month or so of y'all being gone, I'm glad you're back so that we can get to this back end of the season to find out what's happening. I think we get to the bottom of where the Popo came from and who actually was obtained by the Popo. Anyway, when we left off in episode 4, JT and Scotty, they were sitting down and they got this alert on their phones. Apparently, one of the bloggers, you call them thirst trap something? It was on. Isn't that TTB or something like that? But anyways, they were going live, and JT was the topic. Apparently, from what I gathered from this scene and the scene with Bando, which I'm gonna talk about because I got one thing to say. JT's roommate, ex-roommate, went live with the blogger, the YouTube blogger, along with Rico. And because it was just stated as Rico, I'm assuming this is Rico Cassadine because his name has been floating around in the air for a while. Anyways, I guess there's been some disparaging things that has been said by JT, but we hardly know anything about it. JT is paying it dust. And I guess there was something about JT being financially delayed. What is that? Can anybody tell me what that is? As JT was saying, like, why are y'all making up these words? I never heard of that word. Are y'all going to explain this? Financially delayed. Well, a delay would mean that I have some money held up somewhere. But if you try to call her broke or poor, that's not it. And please don't make fetch happen with that word because that don't even make sense. JT gets into not really knowing what the issue is with people, but she's always in it with folks that seem to hate her. She gives her opinions and all of that, and I guess they don't like it. Scotty was like, well, maybe it's an Aquarian thing, and possibly you're guilty by the people that you choose to hang with. Guilty by association. Like he is in certain situations. She said, I guess. And then Scotty said, well, you need to stop being passive aggressive. And JT said, with the AC, I don't know if that has something to do with what was going on with the living arrangements, but it was mentioned. Scotty made sure that we're going to make sure we focus here. Let's turn the focus back after this breaking news on the internet about you and Delon. Like, y'all gonna talk, right? Hopefully everything gets okay, right? JT said, oh, we gonna talk, it's not really an issue. Now, if there is an issue, I think she talks about it a little bit more with Bando. But if there is an issue, then I could bring up what I feel in regards to to counter as far as what Delon is feeling. It's not a real issue. If you feel a way about something, you could have just changed it. Basically, you didn't have to invite those bums to your event, because I'm no friend, basically. Anyway, JT and Bando finally have a sit down. They go to a restaurant. It's a favorite one of JT's, and they catch up. And Bando just rips the Band-Aid off and says, hey, I just got out of jail. JT.
Oh, I just got out of jail.
I was done, but this wasn't the part that made me so done. It's this part.
Incarceration.
Incarceration, but this part.
Jailbird? What?
Jailbird. JT, I'm trying. I gotta keep it together. I gotta get serious. Oh, you have no sense with your dramatic incarceration, jailbird. So Bando explains what happened. He was riding in the car with his plug. The police pulled him over. It smelled like a plug was up in there. Basically, you know, a little bit of the marijuana was in the air. So, of course, it was time to get ID'd. Bando got ID'd, and he found out that he had a warrant. And it was back in 2019. And he stresses, okay, this is COVID time. So what's up? So he had to go to jail. I think he went in there briefly as far as what he was, what he did explain, and that was that. Bando brings up, okay, so what's going on with you in the blogs? He mentioned somebody, Mr. I could not make out what he was saying. And JT said, nothing's going on with me with this whole situation. What he got going on, he can choose to do whatever. But Bando did say, all jokes aside, it was trash. So whatever was explained, or what was going on online, it was pretty bad. And I guess it went low. I'm going to say this, Mr. JT. I have not really critiqued this show, so don't get mad at me. But I feel like it needs to be said. Although this may have been a private matter, as you did say, it just seems like when it's time to press a personal issue. Now, we know that you're doing stuff with Delon, and which isn't really a non-issue. Something made the blogs. And now it's, I'm paying the dust. Not saying that whatever was said was right or whatnot, but for the viewer, and we're trying to really grasp onto what's going on in the scene, I don't think it's fair. One, because of how much that you press Bando, episode after episode after episode. Is he someone that's trying to clout chase? Is he a whore? I mean, you got up in this business. You heard this in the Potomac streets. You heard this in the Dallas Potomac streets. You got to bust everybody's tea out, or allegedly tea, as far as what you heard. And now it's like, in a way, it's speaking in code, and you are just paying the dust. Again, if it was nonsense, I get it. But it's just like, there wasn't a real brief synopsis as to what's really going on. And I think if you are going to dish it, go on and dish yours too. That's going to make you a more authentic MFer on this show. If you can hold somebody else to the fire, and you hold yourself to the fire too. I mean, because you did want to get Blonde together. But I just would have liked a better explanation, and I'm just kind of putting the pieces together, and as a viewer, I don't want to do that. Just give it to me straight. That's all I'm asking for. So after Bando, he's in his confessional, talking about the individual that JT is now in a battle of whatever. I guess this guy, he says that JT should have known better to, I guess this is a former roommate, so they live together. He's the same person that was eating roaches out of the refrigerator and had roaches crawling out of the cartons of milk. He also tricked someone into paying their bills. So basically, this person is no good, and JT should have known better than to ever link up with this person at any capacity. All right, so we're getting down to the meat and potatoes of everything after all that other talk. Basically, it's a truce that JT wants to offer. She said, look, I really don't have an issue with you. Scotty's my friend. I hear a bunch of stuff. And he's new to Atlanta. He's fairly new to Atlanta. And I just want to keep him on the up and up. You know, I want to make sure that he's happy. And I'm just paraphrasing, that you're not playing in his face. JT apologizes for being judgmental without really knowing him. And she promises to come more direct and respectful. And she also says, you know, in hindsight, 2020, if someone was doing what I did to me, oh, there would be a problem. Of course. And that's probably why I was so passionate. Like, wait, what? Even though from a reality show perspective, I mean, you did get the ball rolling. You drove story, and you made sure that we stuck on this topic, for 3 episodes, because Bando wasn't in the 4th one. But yeah. So you did do your job as a reality star. So I'll give you kudos for that. Bando apologizes for making her feel the way that she felt. And then Bando in his confessional, he's a straight up fool, respectfully. He says that I hope, and I quote, that wherever she moves to and goes to next, and whatever journey she goes on next, that she doesn't carry the roaches from the last apartment to the new apartment. You are a fool. Okay, so JT wanted to get Bando's take on what went down at Delon's grand opening. She explained the situation. I don't get along with these individuals. Delon invited them, and then I walk in, surprised, and I wish that something else would have been arranged, And what is your take? Bando didn't really have a take, but he said that basically, if you guys weren't going, I wasn't gonna go anyways. So, but basically, I mean, he don't know Delon like that, so he didn't, to me, have a solid stance on the matter. So I guess you got to go someplace else and talk about your grievance or your non-issue issue. But anyways, just to wrap things up, JT says that she's going to come directly to him next time there is some tea spilled or something about what he's doing. All right, so the next scene, Scotty meets up with DJ. It's 11 p.m. at night, and DJ just really wants to talk right now. And he's out. DJ's talking about his new album, and he just is feeling the urge to just push out the album and damn any type of criticism that's going to come his way, basically. Scotty talked about, I could get possibly your hesitation in regards to releasing it because of, are people going to really like it or not? Because we're artists and we're sensitive about our ish, So Scotty says that he's going to be having a book launch within a month. And they sat and they talked about different ways at how to promote his book. And Scotty will be hosting an event for writers. This is the first time really hosting anything, but it seems really good. Then they switched the conversation to men issues. What's going on with your husband? And Scotty said, no, he's not my husband. We homies. Rolling with the homies. That's what they doing. Even though later on in this episode, I remember I watched it again. Bando said, my man Scotty. You gotta catch it. It's later on. Go back and watch. Just basically, right now, Scotty said when they first got reconnected, there were unresolved feelings. As time is going forward, I'm cool with being friends, and he's just my homie, blah, 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 blah. Scotty's in his confessional saying, I'm just really tired of talking about Bando. So that kind of gave me indication, like, I'm just going to tell everybody we homies. We're working on something, and I'll tell you when there's something to tell you. That's what I'm thinking, as far as what his confessional was. So then DJ was like, look, friend, we got to do something after your book launch. Are you up for dating and all of that? Scotty kind of laughed at that because he's like, well, we got to get you in matching pajamas and all that. They laughed at that, Okay, so the next scene, this is the first part was JT. The second half is going to be more about Scotty. Now, viewer discretion advised. We are going to be talking about sexual assault. Hopefully I can say that on YouTube. I keep forgetting what words I can actually say on here. Scotty, DJ, and Bando, they meet up. They have a little small talk. Bando was training Scotty in the gym, and Scotty about died. Bando's going to be out of town because he's going to be filming Donnie Moon's video. Donnie Moon is now a cast member on Chasing Dallas. Now, they talked about, I'm sure there's going to be more rumors once you come back from Dallas and all that, as there were rumors when he was with Jeff Jack. Like, Dallas, what is it? What is y'all gripe with Bando? Sounds like jealousy. So, since you want to just make him look a certain way. But anywho, Bando talked about his music. He's got a third song that he's working on. The artist that recorded the song is not available for the video, or not going to be a part of the video. And DJ was giving him some solutions as to how to work around that. Cut out his verse on the video. You can have a dance break or something else in between there, just to be creative about your whole situation with the video. And now, for the serious talk, Scotty wanted to bring them both together and talk. He would talk to Carl. Carl's not around right now, so he just wanted to express to them what's happening right now. He has times where he slips in and out of depression. Right now, it's looking that way, and what's going on is that he's being triggered from when he was assaulted, SA'd. Along with thinking back to what happened to him, I'm trying to think of another word, because I know I can't say that. The idol, often himself, have been thoughts in his head. He did say that he doesn't have a desire to do it. However, the thoughts are there with it while dealing with depression. It's kind of ingrained in his head. He tells us 5 years ago, he was SA'd by a guy he knows. DJ did ask, are you okay? He says, I don't know if I'm okay, because I'm powering through it, but I'm not really dealing with it. When it comes back to me, I think I'm okay thinking about it, but as it lingers around, I start getting more emotional. I start getting emotional about it, so I don't think I'm okay. I just want to make sure I have everything before I kind of give a little commentary. The way he's been managing it is blocking it out. And we can stop right there. Yeah, first, I just want to say, Scotty, you are strong and you are brave and courageous. You are telling people that you are comfortable in saying it, but you're also telling it to the world. I commend you on doing that. I hate it happened to you. I'm sorry it happened to you. For you to go for 5 years and not really be vocal about it and harbor it within yourself. I think you said here, but I remember before that you did speak about it. I don't know, it's been a while, but I do remember that you made a video and you talked about yourself. You did tell, the only person you told at the time was your brother. And I think I saw recently somewhere that you did say that he was your rock during this time. But anyways, one thing I will say, not just with you, Scotty, I'm glad that a man and a black man is saying something. Women are discarded. Imagine how men are. It's triple that. Where you're just discarded, you're not believed. Nobody believes that a man could be forced into doing anything, that a man can be attacked and you can. It's quite crazy. And you can also get into situations that you didn't know that you get wrapped up into stuff to where you are violent. Men can do that. It's capable. It happens all the time. It's just that we are made and forced to not say anything. And in many cases, many victims, and that does not just go for males. That goes for females. You're vilified. Somehow you become the villain if you speak up. And in the black community, we be protecting those pedophiles and those deviants. It's so crazy. DJ goes on and says that he has had SA experiences where he has not been believed. That happens a lot too. For whatever reason, they want to protect the violator. For whatever reason. Bando even said that he has had some experiences of being violated. And I confess that I have been molested. I was molested as a child. It wasn't until my early 20s that I realized that I was abused. I'll tell my story another day. This is about Scotty and what's going on in the scene. And it'll be sooner rather than later. The only thing that I have to offer you today, Scotty, is strength, love. I speak healing over your soul. I'm glad that you made this step, because I believe that you're on a journey now of healing and of freedom from this man that did this to you. Let me make sure. He says the thoughts of taking himself out was a way to just kind of like the easy way of dealing with it, or basically not deal with it. The gentleman did ask, did you tell your mom? He said no, because she's been molested and also art. And that could trigger her. And also she internalizes the things that her children go through. And he doesn't want to put that on her. He's basically trying to protect her about it. However, I think that there's going to be some freedom with you in telling in regards to that, and I'm glad that you are wanting to be protective of it, but I think that you've held on for it for so long that you're going to have to tell it. You're going to have to confess it. But basically, he's actually ran into the attacker. It was the day before he was supposed to move to Atlanta. And he just came in his presence and acted like nothing happened. DJ said that's how it is. That's a lot. Now, Scotty, he went on and went into more details on his own channel. Go to his channel. I do have a community post. Go to the video where he does explain in more details as to what happened to him. Show some love and support. That's all I ask. Even from a distance, you're not in this alone. And from a distance, Scotty, I'm rooting for you, and I'm praying for you. And I believe that you're going to make it to the other side of this. You will be healed. You will be whole. You did talk about going into therapy, so great. And I'm grateful that you did open this up. I hope this touches many lives. I did say males, and the reason I said males is because of how little our voice is and for us to be heard. I know what it's like to not be believed also. And I'll tell my story, as I said before, another time. So I get that. I'm glad that your mom did believe you, because you did say that in your video. But again, I'll just admonish everyone to go over to his channel and view what he has to say. But yeah, it was very ironic that this episode did run right after the Chasing Atlanta episode with Quentin. He went to jail and got violated. There's a lot going on. And what I will say about those type of attacks and those types of violations is one thing for your physical body to be violated. When it messes with your mind, and I'm a cuss, but when it messes with your inner, it is such a mind fuck. And you don't really know what's worse. It's one thing to be physically attacked. It's another thing to try to pick yourself up from that place where it kind of just stunts you and paralyzes you right in that moment for what these violators do and what they take away from you. But I know that you can gain it all back. So, great episode. We got our laughs in. Comedy, I don't even think that we were supposed to get, we wouldn't have thought that we've gotten. We've gotten some real talk. We got some more serious talk. So I commend you, Stylist TV and the cast, for bringing this out and letting us have this moment in time. Have this moment of vulnerability. Thank you, Scotty, for doing it. You did mention that you've been putting the blame on yourself. As DJ and Bando did say, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. These jokers are slick. And it's just not men that are doing it either. Let me just put that out there. There are female violators out there. These jokers are slick. They're predators. And they know what to do to get their prey. I'm watching right now Sisters. They're in season 10. There's a character on there. Her name is Danny. She's now going through a lot of guilt because she got date art. It's it's a long story. But basically, she did see this guy. She had sex with this guy. Well, the guy wanted to follow up. She wasn't feeling it. He forced his way into her apartment, wrestled and struggled with her, and did some physical things to her. And I could get graphic, but y'all would have to just watch the episode. But yeah, he tried to assault her. And he tried and did assault her. But she was able to get away before he could really stay in that assaulting manner. I'll just say that much. But she's got all this guilt. Because another factor is that this guy that she slept with, she was cheating on her boyfriend with. She's got guilt about that, and guilt about, I didn't let this person in my home, in my life. I didn't let him have sex with me, and now he's come and violated me. I didn't see the warnings, or maybe I ignored the warnings and all that. No, these jokers, and from previous episodes, from what I saw, the dude was very aggressive. The dude was very determined to get whatever he wanted. He was going to get it. And the stuff that was going on in her life left her in a vulnerable place. And she wasn't even in a place to really detect, okay, well, I better leave him alone. Because it's the way that he really worked her. But yeah, it's not your fault. And to the man, because there's one thing that Scotty said in his video, it's the audacity. That just a few days later, he's doing this. He did a specific thing. It's the audacity. You violate somebody and then you, sir, what I will say to that guy, may you have no peace until you acknowledge, take accountability and responsibility for what you have done. And I'm sure you have done it to other people, sir. And I hope if there are any other victims out there that they come forward just on the strength of Scotty being vocal. Yes, you need to take accountability and responsibility. What that accountability and responsibility is, I don't know. But you take it. You take it. But anyways, again, great episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share. And until the next one, peace.